On April 18, 1943, 4 local boys were hunting for bird eggs in Hagleywood, located in Worcester, England. This was during the height of the Second World War, where food was scarce, so it was common for people to hunt and scavenge to supplement their diets. In the woods was a witch hazel tree with twisted branches and a sinister appearance. One of the boys decided to climb up the wych elm to see if there were any bird nests inside. The boy spotted a white object inside the trunk that he believed was a bird nest. He peered in to get a closer look and found a human skull. The boys became frantic. They made an agreement amongst each other not to say anything about the skull. The boys then went back to their homes. By nightfall, one of the boys cracked and told his parents of the gruesome discovery. The police were notified of the discovery and sent investigators out to the wych elm. Investigators located the skull and most of the skeletal remains of a woman. There was also decomposed clothing, a gold wedding band, and a shoe. They located the right hand a short distance away from the wych elm, and the other matching shoe was nearby. Forensic expert James Webster located a piece of taffeta stuffed into the skull's mouth. He estimated that the body had been dead for at least 18 months and had been purposefully placed into the tree while the body was still warm. Webster concluded that foul play was involved, and the woman's cause of death was believed to be asphyxiation due to the taffeta. Police at the time had no leads as to who the victim was and why she was placed inside of the tree. Shortly after the gruesome discovery, graffiti began to spring up all around town. "Who put Bella in the wych elm?" was scrawled around buildings and walls as public fascination of the case grew. Initially, it was thought that Bella was a clue for police, but they later dismissed this and attributed the graffiti as a prank of poor taste. The victim's newly designated name of Bella would stick since police still had no clue as to who Bella's true identity was. Police knew very few things. From Bella's remains, they knew that she was around 35 to 40 years old and had given birth to one child at some point in her life. Bella also had distinct teeth that were described as large and protuberant. Local dentists in the area were questioned, and none recall ever seeing a patient matching Bella's description. Theories about satanic rituals and black magic began to form. The wych elm had a reputation of being used as a tree in satanic rituals. Bella's arm had been found separate from the tree and the rest of her remains. Many speculated that the reason for this was due to a black magic tradition known as the Hand of Glory. This ritual involved cutting a hand away from the corpse, baking the hand, and using the melted fat to create a candle, often done following a witch's execution. Another detail that pointed towards a black magic ritual was the fact that Bella's corpse had been stuffed into a tree. It was believed that this was done to prevent the spirit of Bella from haunting those responsible for her murder. Police were quick to dismiss the theories that Bella's death was due to black magic. It was believed that Bella's hand was located separate from the rest of her body due to animals scavenging for food rather than from an occult ritual. The other circumstances that point to black magic were written off by police, who were quick to blame the public desire for a sensational story. But the public would soon get another sensational story as an explanation for Bella's death. A local paper received a letter claiming that the body found was a German spy who was killed by her associates. During the war, there were constant rumors of German spy cells operating in the area. It was believed that Bella was actually named Clara Bauerle, a German cabaret artist and entertainer who was recruited as a Nazi spy to work in the music halls of Birmingham. It was believed that Clara was the lover of Joseph Jacobs, a German agent and spy who was captured. Clara's photo was located among Joseph's belongings. Joseph claimed that Clara was to be parachuted in, but no records exist to confirm that this event occurred. Joseph was executed by firing squad on August 15, 1941. He would be given the distinction of being the last man put to death at the Tower of London. Police have also dismissed the theory that Bella was a spy. There are records that Clara Bauerle was performing in Germany in 1942, and there are also records that she died in Berlin just 1 year later. It was also reported by multiple witnesses that Clara was around 6 feet tall, while Bella was about 5 feet tall. Despite the evidence against this theory, rumors of Bella being part of a German spy ring persisted. Police investigating Bella's death would struggle to find any new leads. It was noted that locals were very tight-lipped about the case. This was also during the middle of a war, so police had very limited resources. One theory is that the graffiti "Who put Bella in the Wych Elm" was a clue that someone had left to point police towards the right direction. The area of Hagleywood was noted to have a large number of people who were transient and living in camps. Amongst this crowd were a number of violent people who could have committed the murder and moved quietly throughout the different camps to avoid detection. Police seem to think that this was the most plausible theory. There were also rumors that a Birmingham prostitute named Bella had disappeared in 1941. It is unknown if this information was ever verified or if this is simply hearsay at the time. Bella's case grew cold as the leads dried out. Roughly 9 years after the murder, a local woman named Una Mossop would claim that her late cousin was responsible for Bella's death. Una wrote a letter of what really happened but used a pen name of Anna. Una claimed that her cousin Jack went out drinking one night and met a man and his partner. The 3 drinking partners then decided to go out for a drive when the young woman passed out in the car. Jack and the man decided to put the young woman into the tree as a prank. The woman was unable to get out of the tree and she soon died. Jack's guilt over the incident resulted in Jack becoming committed to a mental institution where he would eventually pass away. But police were very skeptical of this story. If Una's version of events were true, then why would she wait 9 years to come forward and tell the story? Police also questioned why Una waited until Jack passed away to come forward. It was believed that Una did this intentionally so that Jack could never be interviewed or questioned. In addition, police were offering a reward of £100, which would be the equivalent of about $13,000 today. Police believe that Una's story was made up so that she could collect the reward money. Bella's true identity and the reasons for her death are still unknown to this day. DNA may have given clues as to who Bella was, but her skull and remains have since been misplaced by police. In 2017, forensic anthropologist Caroline Wilkinson was able to use photographs of Bella's skull in order to recreate what Bella would have looked like. Police and historians hope that the new image of Bella will be able to draw new leads and finally bring the answer as to who put Bella in the Wych Elm.